All right, well, we'll try it again.
It's a test run.
Well, you know what? I was running strictly on Wi-Fi when I've been doing all this. And tonight, just to have backup, I plugged it in the ether cable, and then it buffers. So,
well, stop thinking so much.
anyway, thank God this is going out to
Think more?
YouTube Live. We could think in the middle, I would guess.
Thinking of what? Why? Because they're better than this?
I have no idea what you're really even talking about. Hey, I forgot to record this. Hold on. We're going to do this. Hey, it's the What's Happening.
Oh, don't do that, because then you'll see. Oh my gosh, I am so self. I feel like I have to.
Oh, come on.
My head
Well,
up.
you got nose hairs. I wouldn't do that.
Are we going to break up? We're not even going out, but are we going to break
We're
up?
like the captain
Oh
in
my
Knots and
gosh.
Ale.
No, I hate that. Then they do a horrible song called Muskrat Love.
I didn't find it horrible.
How do you even come up with that? What inspires that?
Maybe a gerbil fetish.
Oh,
You didn't know about
come
that.
on.
Anyway,
We just started.
we didn't even. All right, we got it. Hey, welcome to the What's Happening Entertainment Hangout tonight. Tim and Jayme.
And gin and tonic. Because, obviously.
Well, we are not inebriated in any way yet, but it could be heading in that direction. I'll tell you that much.
Well, it only takes one, and I'm halfway through it. So
Well, you guys see on the live stream, it says test. So we're testing.
just please keep that in mind, the duration of this show.
Look at that. A pop-up has just arrived. I didn't order it.
I didn't either.
All right.
Send it back.
Maybe it was a pizza.
I don't know. There's so much technology, but I'm glad it's not high def.
So isn't that funny? It's not buffering. It's fine now. Isn't that funny as hell?
No.
So
It's technology.
All right. So anyway, this is a 9/11 tribute show. We will be talking about 9/11 and what it meant to myself and Jayme and people around the world. We also have some guests remote from Australia. We got Jonsey from Radio Jonsey and Australian Radio Indie, and we've got Norman Askew. He is directing the upcoming Improv Challenge at the Gallery Theater. So
he is not from Australia.
No, he's from Ahoskie. We're having guests.
You'll know when you hear him.
Right. Our guests have to be from somewhere that start with A.
Well, that limits us.
No. Australia and Ahoskie, we're good for this show. We can change the letters
you just
next
mean
time
this
around.
show?
Yeah,
right.
not just
now you're getting too themey, Timothy, and it's going to take away from the whole organic spontaneity of this show.
What? All right. So anyway, what we're doing, folks, obviously we're streaming live to Facebook. Next show will also be streaming to YouTube. Do us a favor, if you support us and independent shows like ours, go to our YouTube channel, What's Happening Entertainment. Give us a subscribe.
And please let me know if this color's not good on me so I can stop wearing it next time.
She's like a walking green screen.
No.
All right. So 9/11.
Uh-huh.
How old were you when 9/11 hit?
I'm going to say maybe 26 or 27.
Hold on. Got to hold the can over the name.
I remember where I was. I had just gotten to work. I still work at the same job I was at when it happened. And my boss had called me in and told me about a plane flying into the towers. And we're like, oh, well, this is just, it has to be an accident. And then he called me in, 20 minutes later and said that happened again. And then things got scary. I do remember that.
And so how old were you?
26, maybe.
26.
Yeah.
So I remember it well. I was, I think it was like the first year I became a single parent. And my way of getting the boys ready in the morning for me to have to go to work and then to go to various places like school. It meant that we just did it all together. We're brushing our teeth together, making sure they're doing it. We're all in the shower together, all that stuff. I don't care. Boom. That's why their heads were shiny. Does good on the chrome too. Just saying. But I remember my oldest son, Justin, he came in and goes, Dad, a plane just crashed into a big, tall building. I'm still half out of the shower, so I really didn't pay much attention to it.
Right.
And then I was coming out of the bathroom. I said, what's that plane doing? He goes, well, the building's on fire. I'm like, what? So I came around onto the couch and I'm looking at it. And it was just in time for the second plane to go into the building.
Oh, gosh. You saw that?
I saw it
Wow.
on TV, yes. And I also witnessed the famous The Leaper.
Oh gosh,
The man
that
who
is
leapt to his death by choice.
probably the hardest picture I think of all of them, to just think what was going through his mind. That's got to be a level of desperation I hope I never ever experience.
Well, that picture of the Leaper, I think they call it the Leaper. It's one of the most infamous pictures in existence because it completely tells the horror of that day.
Right.
That picture of that person choosing death that way than being burnt alive.
Sure.
So I remember it. I mean, the sinking feeling, everybody, the whole world came to a stop. Now, I don't know, the further away from New York you were, maybe the less, maybe it desensitized you a little bit, but being in that area, knowing that I had people and friends in New York, and Teresa had relatives, we weren't together during that time, but
still,
I mean,
right.
I've talked to her about it.
Well, I don't think it was any less scary, regardless of where you were in the world, but especially for Americans. And I can imagine it was probably because it hit so much closer to home to you and places you probably are familiar with, but just that we were attacked on our own soil. That was what was scary, that we were, you could get us too. We're open for.
I mean, we lost as many people that day as small wars, a small war.
Right. Well, there were a couple of little, I don't want to say tidbits, that seems to dumb it down, but there are a couple of facts about 9/11 that I read about today that I didn't know about until now.
Okay.
But they make sense now that I know. So 9/11, I guess the World Trade Center was the largest crime scene in FBI history. No, actually it was all of them, all of the locations. And that makes sense, right?
It does.
That makes sense. The ultimate target of Flight 93 remains one of the biggest mysteries of 9/11 because they weren't sure really what their ultimate goal was for that flight.
No.
They assumed somewhere in Washington.
Right, but they got waylaid by the courageous people and men and women on that plane.
Did you know 20 people survived the World Trade Center crash?
Really?
There were 20 survivors.
Hey Alexa.
Don't hear about that.
Hey Alexa. What did you call it again?
Hi there. This week is going to be meaty because I'm celebrating National Cheeseburger Day.
It's National Cheeseburger.
This week is going to be meaty. That's what she says.
Why
do I not have that gig?
She can be. Alexa can be a little lippy, so you got to watch yourself with her.
She got way too familiar with us, and I just met her.
Question. For Murfreesboro, North Carolina, there are currently no weather alerts.
Oh, thank goodness.
There's nothing in Murfreesboro, but that's why we moved here. There's nothing. We love it, except a neighbor whose initials are TP.
TP. All right, we're getting off the 9/11 path.
We are.
So I believe it was 394 EMS or firefighters lost their lives.
Yes, and that really changed for me when I started dating a firefighter.
Oh, I can see that, yeah.
So to know just what they go through with regular everyday stuff that they're called out for, to be on that level, I just can't imagine. I mean, I cannot imagine being a wife or a girlfriend or a mother of a firefighter from that day forward when they had to report to work, just the anxiety that they had to struggle with.
There was when 9/11 happened, I was working at a car dealership, and the boys later that afternoon they went to their grandparents, and I went into work because one of our coworkers, Elaine, she had a brother that was in the trade center.
Oh gosh.
And she was frantic because she could not get a hold of him. He didn't die in it. He wasn't even in the building at the time. But the scary thought is when a tragedy like that happens and someone loves you that's trying to get you and you decide, I don't want to talk to that person right now. Don't do it around a tragedy. No.
Well, they don't know a tragedy is going to happen. I got to tell you, sometimes I'll avoid somebody calling me, and then afterwards I think, What if that's the last time, that's the last message they left, or they really needed something from me?
But that's not the same thing. Okay, say
No, it's not.
Ralph works
But
in the
what I'm
trade
saying
center.
is-
Sally's calling Ralph because it just blew up. And
what I'm saying is,
fine. You got to do that
don't
with the
they-
head a little bit like that.
What I'm saying is, you just never know. So just take care of the people around you and respond to them unless they're toxic, and then don't respond at all.
Toxic.
You know who you are.
Yes. Virally toxic.
I will tell you something I have thought about a lot
What?
about with regards to 9/11. Well, I love that we did come together as a community, as a nation. That did bring us together some. But
I can't let them see the label. I could get
know.
sued.
Well, then put it in a cup and drink it. Gosh, I have to do all the thinking around here.
There's a video like that going around. I'm not doing that.
Anyways, my son was born in what was he born in?
A manger?
He was born in 2002. And then he graduated in 2020. So the major parts of his life he's never known life pre 9/11, and he's never known adult life pre-COVID.
Yes.
And I just hate that for him.
Well, it's worse than that. A lot of your college children are not being taught about it, or they're making it. A lot of people say it was actually a government-run thing that did it. It wasn't real. I mean,
Oh no,
you know,
you can't.
Well, it's like the people that think the Holocaust was a hoax, or the world's flat.
Right.
And
or
sooner or later you're going to fall off
right.
of it.
Or well, we just talked about it, like all these mass school shootings being a government conspiracy.
Yep. All right,
I
so
don't know.
we got some guests. Let's bring Norman on.
Well, let's just say thank you for your service. If you're a first responder, if you're military, if you're medical, we appreciate you every single day. I've already had 911 come to my house twice, once for each year I've lived here, and I appreciate it. Sometimes we really needed you, sometimes we really didn't.
I got you.
Wink, wink. That's a story for a different show.
Well, we'll go. Let's get one of our guests on. Norman Askew from the Gallery
No,
Theater.
He can wait. Get Jonsey on.
Well, no,
He needs to go to
Jonsey
bed.
wanted to come on after we talked about 9/11.
We are done.
Well, yeah, but Norman might want to say something about 9/11.
I guess. Well, as a police officer, he should.
You're very argumentative live, I got to tell you. Norman,
What's going on, people?
Hi.
How are y'all?
doing good. I like that lighting. See how it reflects off his glasses?
I know. We don't know what
Oh,
your
yeah.
eyes really look like.
He's like John.
Oh,
Wick.
put 'em
No,
back
put him
on.
back on. Yeah. You definitely look smarter.
Oh, I do. Well, I need something to help me with that, don't I? Well, what's going on with y'all? Just talking about 9/11 and all
We
the
were
traffic.
talking about 9/11, so we thought we'd include you in the conversation. What do you remember from that day?
Well, I was working, and we keep the news on most of the time. It's just a backdrop, and I couldn't believe it. I had to stand. I was just mesmerized. I was watching. I couldn't believe how some human being would be responsible for taking that many lives. It just made no sense to me. It's sunk in now because of all the memorials and everything that's happened. But before, when it happened, it was very hard to sink in. I can't fathom the mindset of somebody who would want to do something that much harm to humans,
Right.
to society. I can't fathom it.
Well, let me ask you, how has it changed your job as a police officer, a first responder? How had it impacted what you do on a daily from that day forward, or did it?
It's made me more aware, and it's obviously made me, if in a building somebody innocently drops something that looks suspicious, it turns a switch on. That's the main thing, because it's a sense, it brought on an overwhelming sense of distrust to everybody.
Sure.
I can't explain, but me being as a police officer, you have to watch your back every single thing you do.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yes, and even if you have the best of intentions, there's a bad apple in every bunch. So there's a bad policeman in every bunch. There's a bad fireman in every bunch. There's a bad Muslim in every bunch. There's every kind of bad people.
I like your haiku.
Right. But you just have to watch out. You can't isolate the police department and just say, well, all policemen are bad. And I know I'm getting off 9/11 a little bit, but
yeah, because I don't even know what you're talking about now.
You have to believe that
he looks like a
police are there to help. The police are there to help, and the police are not there to harm anybody. And you can get a bad doctor, a bad everything. You know, I mean, I'm sure you're eating some bad Chinese before from a bad Chinese guy. So, you know, it's just what it is.
Right. So do you feel like you're always on duty?
No.
Good.
I only work part-time, but I've been doing it for 25 years. I don't live it. If I worked it full-time, I would live it. But
sure,
I do other things. But I do have a sense of concern for all my fellow officers and around the world, not just right here locally, but around the world, because it is something you have to be very careful with now. And the terrorists are still out there. They're just not around us right now where we can see them. But I'm sure things are working out. We're always going to have to be vigilant and always have to be looking out, because it's still there. And it's just a tragedy that all those people lost their lives over whatever it was over.
It seems like we're having some problems in the field.
All right, you know what? Practical application. That's why you do some test runs. We're back, Norman. We didn't hear a thing you said from "Hi, I'm Norman."
No, we have.
I said, Jamie, you're very pretty, and Tim, you need some work. That's what I said.
Norman, that's why
I'm going to put a carrot on your head.
TP now.
Well, look.
Because it's short for Timothy Patrick. But doesn't TP fit a lot better?
Who feels a lot better?
Because I call him TP.
That's right. TP or not to pee? That's the
Shut
question.
Up. See, you just corrupt it all.
We never formally introduced Norman. Norman Askew. He's directing the upcoming comedy improv challenge at the Gallery Theater. He owns Northeastern Glass. He's a big friend of the Gallery Theater.
Yes, but plug your business, Northeastern Glass. Tell us.
Oh, yeah. I also own and run Northeastern Glass, where you can get the best glass in the hospital. So come see me.
You say glass?
Yes, I do glass. Not
now,
glass.
Is it just automotive glass, or is it for glass for any purpose?
No, if you break your glasses, he's on it.
Any glass. Automotive glass, commercial, residential, anything.
That's good to know.
Oh, yeah. We do it all.
Norman, we appreciate you being on, and we appreciate you serving our community and taking care of us and looking out for us.
Oh, we're not ditching him yet. We got to talk about the improv.
Oh, yeah. But look, I do want to plug that improv. That's something that I sit here in my chair every night and think how darn funny this could be. This is really going to be a good show, and I hope the community either comes in both ways. They come to watch the show and or get on stage and perform with us. It's going to be hilarious. If anybody's ever seen Whose Line Is It Anyway, that is hilarious. And it's going to be set up about the same way. Tim and I have got some scenarios written up, and we can't tell you because we don't want you to be able to rehearse anything like that, but they are really, really funny.
Are they PG-13, some of them?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, with you. None of them are written where a child couldn't see them or listen to them, but the actors may choose to act it out a little differently.
His eyes bugged out. Like,
yeah. We're going to have some kind of way of stopping them if they get out of hand, but it is PG-13. And the reason Tim and I said we would probably do that is because we can't control what the people on stage are saying or doing at the time, but we can let them know there's going to be kids out there, more than likely. I hope there's a bunch of them that enjoy themselves. So we have to keep it to a minimum, but there might be a slip up S word or a slip up H word or something of that sort. But we felt like PG-13 was the appropriate level.
I think so. It's a good middle of the road. It satisfies a little bit of everybody.
That's right. And I hope we've got some teams signed up already. And I just think it's going to be a wonderful event. And I think the people sitting are going to enjoy it just as well as the people getting on stage. And I know Tim and I are going to enjoy it because we've emceed things before, and we love, and that's basically improv. When you get up there and MC something, Tim and I don't have a script. We just know what to talk about, when to talk about it. So It's basically the same
Right.
thing.
Well, let's talk about this real quick. What kind of beer do you call that? What's going on there? It looks like it's a
Oh,
goatee
it's a muskrat tail.
Well,
growing into
I can't tell you really what I call it because we're live on Tim's radio station, and I
oh,
don't want,
gross.
I don't want the FCC to come get it.
It
But
actually looks like two things in one, doesn't
That's
it?
what I'm thinking. It's
Like he's swallowing an old
It's very
gerbil.
structural.
I can't.
You know? So how about this? So if you all come to the improv show, Norman will let you know the exact name of what is growing off of his face.
And you can stroke it.
No, that's for extra $15.
Yeah,
That's behind the scenes.
I'll fill you and Dale in later as to what I call it. But it's just a goatee. I decided to let this little piece grow gray. I picked the other grays out of it, and I decided to let this piece just grow gray straight down. It's not straight down now, but it should be.
All right, so it's got a name, and we need to know.
That's right. That's
all right.
All right, Norman, let's talk Gallery Theater a little bit. You've been connected to the theater for what, 15 years?
Maybe 12 to 15, somewhere along there. It's been a long time. It's a wonderful organization, and it seems to me that over the years there's been less and less participation in the arts, not necessarily with the Gallery Theater, but just in the arts in general.
Right.
And I don't know why, unless you go somewhere like Manhattan and watch a Broadway show. I mean, they're full of people, but in the little rural areas, there needs to be a push for more of it because kids love it. I love it just as much as they do, and I'm sure Tim does, and you, Jamie, love it just as much as anybody does. But the kids, when you see the kids show, Summer Youth Theater Workshop, that it rejuvenates me and makes me say, you know what, I'm gonna do all I can for the gallery because they love it. When they get on stage, they just act like they love it. Their parents love it. It's just well worth it. And that's the audience we need to tap into, because if we don't, the theater is a dying art. And little small theaters like we have is a dying art. And I hate to say that, but I think it is. And it's just everywhere is suffering. It's not a much attendance. Nobody wants to commit the time to act and commit.
Right.
It's something we need to push. And that propels me to stay with it and help all I can, because I just love it, and I wish more people would be interested in it.
Well, the arts are the first. Did you fall asleep on us?
Hi, we're back. God, man, this is hard. I'm not digging this at all.
Did you fall asleep while I was talking and hit the button?
No, it's buffering. The internet, the Wi-Fi, the internet.
It's doing what?
What?
What did you say it was doing?
It's buffering.
Say it again.
Buff.
Buff.
You're not buffering.
Yeah, okay. I understand.
As Carol Burnett once said, I'm so glad we had this time together, but
I have no clue what they're even seeing out there. If it just keeps going in and out, I guess it keeps going in and out. It's not forming other ones, thank God. That would be funny if it formed like 20 different little ones. It just keeps going in and out. But you know what? People might find our trials and tribulations amusing. Who knows?
Oh, sure. It's always fun to make fun of people.
So before we get buffered again, what was your favorite production at the theater?
Well, my favorite character in what I had the most, I've had fun with all of them. None of them have been much apart when it comes to my favorites. But the one I really enjoyed doing was Spamalot. I enjoyed that just tremendously.
And
It
what
was
character were you?
Sir Lancelot.
Ooh, you had like top billing?
Well, yeah, I was the guy that didn't know he was gay that turned gay and was with a very androgynous guy that thought he was a girl. It was very funny. It was
That
just
is very progressive for the theater. Well,
well, it was.
That's if you
not
caught it.
really. I mean, the theater,
But
that's where
you've
you.
seen Monty
What
Python.
is Spamalot? It's Monty Python.
It's Monty Python. It was just funny. It was a well done production. Tim was in it with me. Well, who are you, Tim? I forgot
I was Sept, and I was also the Knight of Knee, and I was Mother. I'm Mother.
Have you ever seen it, Jamie?
Hmm?
Jamie, have you ever seen Spamalot before?
I don't think I have.
Well, it's a Monty Python show, and it was a movie. You need to watch it. It is so
Okay.
funny.
I might have. I remember The Life of Brian.
Yeah, but this is totally different. This is the King Arthur story and all that good stuff. It's a spoof on Shakespeare. And
It's funny. There's even catchy jingles in there.
Okay.
And we ran around so much the sweat was pouring off of
oh,
us.
it was great. I would do that show again in a minute, minus all the dancing. I don't know if I could do all the dancing there, but it was a great show. It really was.
Save it for the improv. I think dancing might come in handy.
It might. But look, I want to ask him a question. Are you looking forward to the improv?
Yes.
All right. And we're gonna have a great time. And we need to spread them tickets around. We need to let everybody know about what's going on, because this, if it turns out good, this is labeled the first annual. So if it turns out well, we'll have the second, the third, and the fourth. Heaven forbid, it's gonna be a good show.
That's right. You might have a third color in your beard by the time we have a second
Might
annual.
have a little purple in there. I don't know.
Purple. Oh,
St.
Prince.
Patty's Day, a little green tough.
Oh, like people put flags out in front of their house. You'll just change your
Oh man, we just
beard
lost
so we know the
Jonsey.
season.
Oh yeah, I got a
Okay.
fall flag out now. I live by myself with my daughter, but I do decorate, so I 'tis the season.
Here.
Oh, here we go. Hi. Yeah, we're back.
Jamie spilled water on the keyboard.
No, it's just, I don't know. It's the connection. It sucks a lot of bandwidth going live, but a booster will fix it for me. So
He needs more horsepower, I think.
do.
Right now he's just got duck power. Okay.
All right. Norman, thanks for being on, Bubba.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Jamie, Tim. I'll see you all at the improv.
Pretty please.
Exactly.
Later.
So let's give him a breakdown. Gallery Theater, we talked about it with Norman. October 8th. Mark your calendars, noon till whenever the girls decide to leave.
Two.
We will we'll be, and they were talking about at the Gallery Theater on Main Street in Askew, from noon to whenever. It's going to be a vintage bake sale, and
it's not vintage food. It's vintage themed.
right.
So it's not
right.
going to be your typical bake sale fare. So it'll be, we're going to dress the part. We're going to have a great little market with some vintage items and some I guess not flea market, but just some stuff you can find every day, So it's going to be something for everybody. Popcorn.
We'll have concessions, popcorn, face painting. We'll have face painter for the kids.
Good stuff. Good
Mhm.
stuff. Get a head start on your Christmas shopping because, I'm sure everybody's got somebody in their life likes to upcycle and conserve and take care of the environment. And what better way to do that than to just buy something that's already created that you go get yourself instead of having Big Brother or Big Business bring it to you.
Also, we are accepting donations
Yes.
of quality stuff. Either A, that we can sell at the thrift shop on that Saturday. She calls it thrift shop market. All right, so at the thrift shop market, just covering my bases here.
Apparently, he's part of the improv, not the market.
Working with women, I got an improv. That was so sexist. You
That's
made me
not
do a
sexist.
Trump.
What? No, I didn't make you do that. You chose to do that. Are you a duck lips guy?
Only when you ask me nicely. So anyway, we're taking donations. We either sell it at the fundraiser thrift shop market, or we might keep some of it for much needed props and things that we need for the theater.
Your stuff could appear on stage one day.
No, you'll be like, oh my God, that's my used toilet seat.
Listen, and if I'm part of the production,
it'll be clean.
It'll be high end.
You mean like high end?
No.
Toilet seat?
God bless the USA, Timothy.
All right, and then on the same day, October 8th, mark your calendar, 6 o'clock doors open, 7:30 the show kicks off. It's the Gallery Theater's first ever Rockin' Improv Challenge. We will have comedian teams competing for cash and prizes.
And prizes.
In between, we will have rocker Lewis. Lucas is out there going, man, that guy.
I know.
My friend
Give
and
me
rocker
the information in the future if you want it proper, Lucas.
Lucas Ireland. We will be jamming on guitar in between contestants and his little Hair Nation. I am a rock god guitar, little stage area.
But listen, his last name's Ireland, so he's automatically A+ in my book.
Hey, he's after me Lucky Charms, he is.
No, that had nothing to do with Ireland.
No, it's
at all.
They have them in other countries too. Okay, they're called fairies.
Good Lord. Good Lord. Anyways, it's going to be a good time, and whatever we don't sell at the bake sale will be concessions that night. And so I'm telling you, I'm making some stuff. I know the other ladies who are making the stuff, and you're in for a treat.
Ooh, I do love treats.
I know. They're going to be good, and they're not going to be everyday fare, but they're not going to be so exotic you wouldn't want it. How's that?
Oh, you mean like, I don't know, tongue-dyed coconut oil or something?
Yeah,
like
nothing with truffle oil or anything like that. You'll recognize all the words. It's not like a casserole that you find at a church potluck where it's just got a crusty top and you're like, I don't know what's under those cornflakes, but
stop describing me. Jeez, it's embarrassing, and on
oh my gosh,
live and
everything. Is
everything.
that why you wear a hat? Because your head gets too big if you don't keep it contained?
My head can never get too big. I take a large child hats, so that's why I usually have like Bugs Bunny or something, because I can't find the grown-up hats.
Did you shop in the preteen section or the juniors? It's called juniors for girls. I don't know if it's called.
All right, I'm not wearing little girl hats.
No, I'm just saying I don't know what the boy equivalent of junior section is.
I'm rocking it. I can rock fuchsia.
I'm gonna
see my tan.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's get our next guest on. Jonsey from Radio Jonsey. Yo, Bubba. Jonsey, over
G'day, mates. How are we?
We are good.
It's going well. Can you hear me?
Hello, nice to meet you.
Jamie?
Yes.
Jonsey.
Hey, Jamie. How are you?
I've heard lots of good things about you, so it's nice to put a face to a name and stories.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well,
oh, shoot. I big slackled him out of the thing.
What?
You slapped me and knocked my finger into a button.
So what time are you joining us at?
Hang on, let me check my watch. Just after 8:30 in the morning on Monday. So
that's not too bad. Is that your normal time to get up?
No, I've been up, went for a walk, and done my little. I'm getting old, so I got to try to keep moving around, and you know. How do you put up with him?
In his backyard, he has all kinds of different size kangaroos.
How do you put up with him on the regular?
What do you mean he doesn't? He sends
I'm
me
asking
pre-recorded
you,
stuff.
I
Jamie.
got
He
you.
doesn't. He hasn't been subjected to you before.
Oh. Is that a drum set, a drum kit in your background?
Drums, yeah, sure is. Electronic.
And do you play them? Or is that
Oh
for someone
yeah.
else?
No. I bash him, hit him.
Oh, you're going to play
Bam,
for us
bam.
sometime, huh?
Oh, maybe one day, but yeah, we could put a couple of musicians in. We could do that.
Well, tell us a little bit about your
Definitely,
show. How long have you been doing radio, and what type of show do you host?
Well, I've done a bit of radio in New South Wales, which is about 2 states away. We've moved to Tasmania, and it's lovely down here. And I'm doing a lot of digital radio now, and also getting into the YouTube side of things now too. So getting the brands out via YouTube, networking, and joining communities. That's been the local focus for the last couple of months now. So it's been great. Filming a lot
Well,
of.
Jonsey turned me
I've
on
got
to this format. In fact,
Yes,
he's
I
been
heard.
training
I've got
me.
the-
So, did you notice the buffering?
I
We
did,
had a
mate.
little buffering
It could be
issue going on.
It could be peak time for you. Is it what time of the night? At 6:30.
It is peak time.
night?
People getting off of work. I'm gonna have to get a booster. I think I'll be all right with a booster.
What about the one in your car so you can see over the dashboard?
I'm not that short, thank you. What? You're not supposed to tell people I should get a booster.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Hang on.
You missed it.
What was that? Did you hear that?
No, that was great. So
That's
I
all
was
right.
actually supposed to come to Australia a couple of years ago to Wollongong area.
Yeah, Wollongong, beautiful, lovely
Yeah.
area.
We had a mishap with a mom. She fell and we had to cancel the trip. So I didn't get to come out and enjoy your beautiful country, but maybe one day.
Yeah, for sure. There's plenty to see, and if you do come out this way, don't miss out on the island at the bottom of Australia, which is Tasmania. That's where so it's another island at the bottom. And if you the channel that I do now for myself, you'll see a lot of local scenery and beaches and kangaroos and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, sure. Well,
But, yeah. So,
I can imagine there's not an ugly part of Australia. It's just all wonderful.
well, I love America as well. I travel to America and I try to stay in Middle America. I don't like the edges too much. If you know what I mean. So,
He has an amazing Morgan Freeman story. You want to tell the Morgan Freeman story?
if you want to hear it, yeah. Well,
We do.
Yes.
The band's, yeah. Okay. Well, the band Storm Cellar, which is on over there, touring in Clarksdale, Mississippi, and after 4 gigs in Clarksdale, we got invited to Morgan Freeman's house to because he just come back to town and he missed the gigs, and he's a music nut, and he just said, would you like to come and play at our place? And for sure. So off to Morgan Freeman's house and got there about 4ish in the afternoon and left there about 4ish in the morning. And he loves music. He's a champion, absolute champion.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I love me some Morgan Freeman.
Tell you what, we're in his house, and he's getting introduced to everyone, and everyone's saying, like the singing, "Hi, I'm Michael." Well, we're all in a straight line, and we're all just one at a time. How you going, mate? He got up to me and he said, "What do you do?" Because I was the last one in the line. I said, "Hey, I'm their security. I'm just been a smart, trying to be a bit cheeky." And he looked at me, and he's tall. I'm about as taller than me. and he's like 80, so he's getting on, and he just stood there. He smiled, arm back, and as soon as he did that, I knew he was going to hit me. So I just stood there nice and tense, and he just went straight in the stomach. I was nice and tense, and that was my greeting. And he said, "Boy, they breed them big and hard in Australia." And yeah, welcome to my home. He's the chef will cook you anything you want to eat. Two girls over here will get you a drink, whatever you need. It's all here, and it was a great night.
I bet.
But
My gosh.
So what did you have the chef make you?
like a fool, I made the wrong decision. But all the other band members are getting lobster and yeah, some. I said to him, "Hey, what does Morgan eat most nights?" And he said, "Would you like me to cook you what Morgan has?" He said, 5 nights. No, there's 4. What a cool idea! Yeah, I'll take that. And then I'm sitting there, and everyone's coming out with their meals. And I'm thinking, "Oh man, that looks awesome! And that looks awesome!" And then out come this burger, like it was a cheeseburger, but it was the actual meat was about this thick, and melted in your mouth. You couldn't eat the whole burger, and then he had fries as well. And he said that's what he has. Yeah, appreciate
Sounds good.
it.
I am getting hungry.
Well, what a cool experience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Golly.
He's
Oh,
got
yeah,
all
that
kinds
was-
of stories.
Do you meet famous people on the regular?
Oh, not. Depends how famous you want to say famous. Another good one was Richard Fortas from Guns N' Roses. He was at a venue. We went to a Christmas party for. They invited all these radio people to their Christmas party in Sydney on the roof of the big radio station there, and it was the band was called the Dead Daisies. And
They're excellent.
It's an awesome night. Got to meet. They're
doing
Richard
something.
and
Did I
chat with
see
him
a
for a long
song? A
time.
new song just came out from the Dead Daisies,
Oh,
right?
probably, mate. It's the base. They used to be based all out of Australia, so everyone used to, because the guy who sets the rhythm guitarist, and it's like a business model. So he runs it as a business. So the idea was to get the best musicians and the best singers available from big bands, put them
They're like
together as a
Menudo,
super
but
group,
like
and
hard rock.
So they're not like Menudo.
But it is as like the bands the band transitions all the time. New members.
I got you. So, Jonsey, do you play just local bands and try to help get them out into the world, or do you play already established? Or
yep, that's the thing. And my goal is to get the most independent new acts. They could be old gentlemen, they could be young kids coming through, but if the music's good, mate, I promote it. That's my thing.
well, that's awesome.
I've been doing that for years.
It is.
So,
Well, that's how I met Tim, through that. Like, it was through
right.
through Dennis,
I'm playing with the banners.
I know,
Val
stop.
at a Love Child.
Well, he speaks very
Yeah, so this
highly
is a
of
pretty
you,
good-
and I've heard your show several times, and you're easy to listen to, and you're way more professional than we are over here.
So you can catch Australian Radio Indie with Jonsey Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock on What's Happening Entertainment Radio, or go to his YouTube, Radio Jonsey. Australian Radio Indie's still doing up there, right?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm doing both.
Go
Australian
visit
Radio.
or go visit him in Tasmania, right?
You two are welcome anytime.
I do want to go. I feel like I know his area because a lot of the independent artists that he covers and he sends me their videos, they're like the local bars or the local hotel or a
Right,
pub.
right.
So I get to see them quite often, and some of the same people integrate through the different videos. So it's like, I know you.
Well, we'd be happy to send them your way for a good long chunk of time.
I'll become the Tasmanian devil. I'm gonna bite your ears off. Yes.
Stop. Okay, just stop.
Sorry.
Stop.
Yeah, we've got a few of them here.
All
That was
right,
He's
Jonsey,
definitely
thanks for being
excited
on
with
the
the
blog. Sorry about the technical issues. I'm gonna try to get that hashed out before we invite you on again.
Hope to talk to you soon.
Let's do it again. And you froze.
Absolutely.
Yep, let's do it again.
Take care.
All right, so that's my buddy Jonsey. So you finally put a face to the voice.
Yes.
He's got tons of stories. You know, now the Aussies seem to be a more laid back in their speaking.
Yes.
But you heard him on his show. When he gets going, he has
Mhm.
those the old stories, the accent, and you get to hear like Australian country and rock or whatever. And you can't tell
There's
the
a
difference.
lot of talents here. No, you can't. And you know what I always heard was if you can discern someone's accent when they sing, they're not really singing.
Correct. That is true. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad. So how about we play a quick fun game? It's not my game. I will have to give the props to stand-up Christian comedian John Crist, Crist. He did this little, I believe it was TikTok. I'm not sure. I think I saw it on Facebook. So, but I think now on social media, you do one platform, it's just all of them, especially if you you have a job that's in the entertainment industry, right?
Yes.
You have to be continuously be relevant. But just know y'all are relevant to me, and I don't need all these social media platforms. Anywhoosies, John Crist did this little video where he would drive to CBD marijuana vape shops, and then he would drive to churches, and he would make people just based on the name of the church or the shop determine if it's a church or if it's a vape shop.
Really?
So,
That's that hard to decipher?
Well, you tell me.
Okay.
So I went to the state of Colorado because that seemed to have the most choices.
When did you drive there? Would you?
I didn't. I just went online.
Oh, okay.
I want to visit Colorado someday.
Me too.
I know you do. Okay, so let's just start easy and you tell me, is this a dispensary or is this a church? Grow Life.
Dispensary.
You are correct. Ding, ding, ding. All right. Emerald Fields. I handed you that.
Dispensary.
Very good.
Could have been an Irish church.
Action City.
Say that again.
Action City.
Action City. A church.
It is. And why'd you say that?
Well, because when you're high, you're not really in a whole lot of action. So, you know.
But the Action City is where you find the action to sit on the couch for the rest of the day.
Maybe
Okay.
so.
Live Well.
I bet you there's both named that,
Probably.
to be honest. So this is just a roll of the dice here. Live Well.
Mm-hmm. You're taking
Dispensary.
It is.
Mhm.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
The Well Community.
The Well Community. Church.
Good job. You are 1, 2, 3, 5 for 5, bud. All right. The Pearl.
The what?
Pearl.
Dispensary.
No. It's a church.
Evil bastards.
Hey, I did see a church called Scum of the Earth Church.
That's still open?
You knew about that?
I founded it.
Hey, we founded the Island of Misfits Toys Church. When we got kicked out, we decided we're just going to create our own church and call it the Island of Misfit Toys.
I see.
You'd fit right in.
I would fit
But that's
right
the whole
in.
point. So everybody fits in. Anyways, okay, let's do a couple more since you're just
But
red hot.
you notice how it hasn't buffered?
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that we had those two in queue did it.
Slowed it, dragged it.
Yeah, I need a booster.
I do too, but we call that
Home run.
we actually call that a bump.
You know what it's going to be to edit this damn thing with
Well, you
buffers?
had to
I'll
be
put
all
little boobies
fancy.
or like twirly tassel things. What are we
Oh
saying?
gosh. All right, last one. Garden of the Gods. Garden of the Gods.
That's a dispenser.
It is.
Hmm.
All right, so you're no fun to play this game with.
Why? Just because I got
Because
most
you're
of
so
them?
good at it.
I am. I'm like a psychotic
So
psychic.
listen,
Psychic.
psychic.
Sidekick? A psychotic sidekick. That's me.
That too. So you heard we lost Queen Elizabeth finally.
Yes.
And how many King Charles jokes have you heard?
None.
None?
I don't pay attention to this crap.
I know you don't. And I don't really, but it's constantly, you know.
The man doesn't interest me because I know what his political views are, and we're
Mhm.
not getting political. So,
We're not.
you know, but he differs in me.
Right.
No interest in me.
Well, more importantly, I guess
Queen Isabel, now she was good. She moderated.
Isabel,
Oh, that's-
Elizabeth.
Isabel, Elizabeth. Come on.
Well, I'll tell you, the Crown series on Netflix was amazing. It really gave you insight, and I think it was done very fairly because it showed the good and the ugly side of being in a monarchy. So, and the fashion back in the 50s was amazing. Oh my gosh. Just watch it for the dresses.
Oh, I would have liked to have been around in the 50s.
Me too.
I would have been a greaser.
Yeah, I'd have done the 40s.
I would have been like Kaneki, except shorter. You know what we never did because
Because he needs boosters. He said it himself.
because we're doing live. Do you want to talk when you finish, or do you want me to drop out? Hold on, I got to answer Jonesy.
He's got to do something.
Jonesy, what'd you ask me? No, hang on there for a minute, Jonesy. No, because then no, drop out, but I will reach out to you soon. Sorry, I'm talking to
Gosh,
Jonesy.
you're talking like a girl, is what you're talking like. Maybe not. And I can say that because I am.
Well, I don't know. I've never done a live show like this before,
I
so I don't know
know.
what I want to
I
do.
feel
To
so,
be
I
honest
gotta
with you.
tell y'all, I will up my game next time.
Me too. I'm gonna wear my How to Make Beefaroni shirt.
Open the can and pour it in a bowl.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got to stir it nice, and
You gotta stir it.
or you put it in a microwave to make sure you burn your fingers.
Hey, guess what we're gonna make tomorrow night?
Zestalini.
No.
What?
Well,
Oh my God, I look like an
we're
elf.
gonna get a little uppity and we're gonna make pork belly with grit cakes. Why's that funny?
I don't know. I'm actually looking at the message from Jonesy. I haven't mastered this
Guess
live
who's
thing.
not a multitasker? Who's obviously not a
I got to
psychopath.
get used to it to multitask
I know,
with
but
it.
look, I'm staring at the box. I think I've done good,
No, you did
ish.
very well, yeah.
but
But for those of you out there, and I have no clue of the stats, I'm not even looking at them. So I'm just, if you saw this or you're seeing it later on Rumble or YouTube, thank you for at least watching it. Sorry about some weird edits or the buffering. This was a trial run.
we're gonna get better.
Oh, we are. So
Always get better.
the end game soon will be we will be live to YouTube and Facebook at the same time, and then that will create a video that will go to Rumble, and then that will create
Mhm.
audio that will go to radio and Spotify, and we cover all the medias here. What we didn't do is we were supposed to thank our sponsors verbally, no commercials.
With our mouths.
Well, they do like that about me.
Thank them. Just thank them.
Okay, anyway. So some of our sponsors, Southern Bank, thank you for being a sponsor. Wholesale Cash and Carry. I'm
Oh,
Arnold
yeah.
Drive in a Hosky.
Yeah, you're a big fan of them.
Well, you know what it is people still drive to go to a bulk convenience store because it's maybe a few bucks less. And it is because they have the buying power, but a local independent small business doesn't. But the difference you spend a little bit more with them, look how much gas is now. Wear and tear on your car.
Right.
What is your time worth?
Yeah, but I would still rather go a little bit out of my way to support small business.
Exactly.
This country was built on the backs of mom and pop shops.
What we have to do for Small Business America, we need to help it, save it, and try to bring it back. So First time when something's in your head, you got to buy it. Think, can I get this from a local small business?
Yep.
If the answer is no, then go to a local blockchain because at least you're keeping money in the community.
Right.
No,
Right.
fine. Then last resort, order it online. If you're going to order it online and you don't want to feed the big guys, you know who I'm talking about, find who makes it. Find the product on those big guys and then go find a small person that will sell it to you.
Right.
Or
I
the
mean,
company itself.
You're
original-
putting food in their mouths,
Mhm.
not lining their pockets for extra. And now that it's fall and we have to consider holidays coming up, all the holidays you got to buy for, now it's a crucial time to support small business. Even if you just buy a gift certificate and give that as the gift,
Yes.
which would help them out immediately.
It would. It would. I mean, you're feeding either shareholders
Mm-hmm.
or somebody trying to feed their family.
Right.
So if you can't figure out which way to go, then whatever, right?
We'll pray for you.
All right, so this was the What's Happening Entertainment Hangout with Tim and Jayme.
Yep.
We'll have some with
Yep.
Tim and Tony going live. Music Scene will be live as well. For me to do Music Scene, I got to get better at the controls because I'll be bopping in videos and then back out, bopping in videos. And
We got
back
to talk
out.
about a hair and makeup budget too.
Why do you think I should wear a wig? I got wigs, girl. You know I do.
As long as we can share. Look, we met our quota.
We're out of here.
See ya.
Hey, Alexa, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pretty good stuff, right?